All right, welcome back to the Perform Podcast, episode number 28, I believe we are. No real apologies. I feel like we do this every time anyway. There's always a bit of a delay between podcasts. I think the last one that we did, I feel like this is just our little tradition. What was the last one? September last year, so for 6 months. There's been a bit that's happened between now and then, which we'll update, obviously, in a future episode, but we thought it'd be a good chance today to get our newest coach on the podcast, Mr. Kyle Wyatt. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So obviously what we thought we might do today is obviously get you on the podcast, introduce you to everyone. It's obviously been a pretty chaotic first month.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll explain that in terms of how you've gotten here. But what we thought we might do is kick it off with what we usually do, is the question of the week, which I'm not a big fan of. I think we could have done better than this.
Horrible one.
Blaming the boys. But what is it in Everfit, logging your weight, single versus double?
Single.
You're always single?
Always single.
Why
Always
single?
I think it's just clear, because if you double,
Yeah.
you know, everyone can just kind of make up what they want to make up.
Yeah.
Single, it's clear.
Yeah.
And then you won't get confused.
You have
Just
to
single all the time.
Do your maths. I got into a decent argument, I think it was with Max the other day, just about...
You single
like,
as well?
About this. No, here's the doubles, and I was like, just put the singles in.
Yeah.
And he's like, just do your maths, do your doubles. I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do maths. I just want to know what it is.
It's just straightforward, simple.
The loading's on the body.
Yeah.
But that was a bit of a controversial one in here. But what we thought we might do to kick it off is obviously just get a bit of a background for you. So rewind the clock a fair bit. Run us through like pre-S&C days in terms of sporting, where you grew up, etc.
Yep. So grew up in far north Queensland.
Hence the accent.
G'day, mate. But yeah, grew up in like a little small sort of town. Grew up in the Atherton Tableland, so it's like a bunch of small different towns up there, just inland from Cairns. Grew up playing rugby league, did a little bit of athletics, but then main sport was rugby league, because that was pretty much the only sport that was available in the town I grew up in, so pretty much played rugby league my whole life. And then, all through high school played rugby league, and then eventually started getting into S&C. Actually had a few injuries, things like that.
What did you pick up?
I broke both my scaphoids in my wrist, actually.
Ouch.
But I didn't even know how I'd done them.
Yeah.
Both of them, I remember spraining my wrist once playing, and then it would have been like for a year straight at least. I remember I was just stretching my wrists because I thought they were just inflexible. I thought it was like a flexibility issue, and that's why I couldn't bend them. And then eventually went and got an X-ray from the doctor, and they said, "Oh no, you've broken both your wrists." So actually there was like, the bone was pretty much almost dead. So they had to they cut it all open, and then they cut the side of my hip open as well. They had to pull like, I guess, fresh bone from my hip. Mm-hmm. And then they put that bone onto my scaphoid bone, and then like screwed it all together. And then you had one year I did one wrist, and then the following year later I did the other wrist. And there was like, they said there was like cystic growth going on it from like just being like basically dead or starting to die pretty much.
Jesus.
So yeah, pretty much can hardly like bend them really. Like I've only just got back to the point now where I can actually do a push up on the ground.
How do cleans go?
Yeah, they're horrible. I can't get into the front rack position at all. That's why my technique's a bit dodgy. I just kind of throw it up there and
just
hope for the best.
Maybe that's why they're so wrecked in the first place.
Yeah. That probably is it. But yeah, I actually don't even know how I did it like at all. Like I remember palming someone once, and then that was like literally it. But that was like my left hand, and I have no idea how I did my right hand. So
too much fending off, man.
Yeah. I actually used to have a good fend as well, but then I like completely lost that, and then...
Someone find the highlight reel. I want to see if this is real or not.
Plug it in now.
Yeah, literally. Under 8s, he's just palming kids in the face.
But yeah, that's kind of where I got into S&C, I guess. Like after I was getting into the gym a bit before that. I used to have like old... like we had like this crowbar thing, and I put like 2 milk bottles on the side.
Jeez, you are...
like proper country boy.
You're a farmer boy, hey.
So I done that. We had like 2 sand, like milk bottles filled full of sand, and then like I was doing like bench press and things with that. And then, then when I had surgery, I was still trying to find things to do because I couldn't like actually do anything with my wrists. So that's when I got into like kind of sprint training and everything like that, like trying to find more, I guess, creative ways to still train, things like that. And yeah, so started getting into S&C, maybe I think that was around 13, 14 sort of thing. And
As in just training for S&C, or just like a bit of a, like, oh, I like this?
Just training for S&C.
Yeah.
And then, then kept playing, kept training throughout. And I remember when I was like 16. I didn't know what S&C like was at that point. Like I just I had this weird memory of like being drunk with my mates and then saying like,
it's a weird start.
We're all like talking about what we wanted to do when we get older.
Yeah.
And then I remember saying like I wanted to work with like an NRL team.
Yep.
I called it physio at the time because I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So I said I want to be a physio, but then I want to do like their strength, their gym programs, their fitness programs.
Yeah.
But I was calling it physio. I didn't know what I was fucking talking about. But yeah, I remember that, and that's sort of what I started to think about. Like that's the path I wanted to go down to. And yeah, kept playing rugby league. Played a bit of like under 18s and under 20s for the Northern Pride. So it's like the semi-professional team in Cairns. They're playing like the Queensland Cup competitions. So played a bit of that. So flew around the state there a bit, mostly down to Brisbane to play our games there. Then I sort of got to a point at that time when I was about, I think I was 19 when I started working in a gym as like an S&C coach.
Pretty early.
Yeah, it was pretty early. I think just because I knew I kind of wanted to do it.
You weren't lying when you were drunk with your mates.
Nah, yeah, like I knew kind of what I wanted, like that I wanted to do it when I was younger, sort of thing. Yeah, and then as soon as I finished school, started uni. I think I did maybe 1 year of uni, and then that's when I started coaching. Pretty much just after that, I think. Started coaching at a gym in Cairns, and then it kind of got to a point, like I was still playing at that point, and I think when I was 20, it was kind of at a point where I kind of either had to, like, just because I needed money, I either had to choose like playing and keep going down that route, or I had to choose like become an actual proper S&C coach and like give away playing so I could actually like pay the bills pretty much. So because I guess times would clash.
Yep.
I couldn't go to training if I was coaching sort of thing. So pretty much gave away playing at like 20 years old, which I'm kind of glad about. Like, I don't think
threw the dream away.
Yeah, I think if I kept playing, it would have just ended up just like chasing nothing really. Like, I kind of would have just been probably still trying to just chase a dream that probably would have never actually eventuated sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm glad I kind of made that decision.
You made it early.
Yeah, made that decision early, and and then I guess kept doing that for a few years. Finished uni, and then I was like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do now?" Sort of thing.
Yeah. What year did you finish?
What year?
Yep.
I think it was 2 years.
How old were you when you finished?
I think I was 20. No, I would have been 23. I fucked up uni so much. I was absolutely dodgy at uni. Like
a bit of a practical guy.
Yeah, more of a practical guy. Yeah. Like I hardly passed. I got an OP. I think I got an OP 14, so I was still back when I was OP. But like I hardly got that. I think I almost failed grade 12 English because like I was just horrible with English. And then like I only passed it because like the teacher like fought for me to get like my marks higher sort of thing. So shout out to that teacher. Shout out to Miss Stramucci.
She got you here.
Probably won't be watching, but but yeah. And if I didn't pass that, I probably wouldn't got an OP. So yeah, got that. Got into uni. Finished uni. Like I delayed it for years just because I failed. Like I think I failed biomechanics twice. Yep. I failed biomechanics twice, and then that pushed the whole thing down the line because there was like a lead-on subject. I think there's like biomechanics, and then if I didn't pass that, I couldn't do like the lead-on subject after it. So I failed that. That pushed that subject, and it had like a whole cascade of effects to like push my uni back like another almost 2 years, I think. Yeah. So it took me like 4.5, almost 5 years to finish like a 3-year degree sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I finished that when I was 23. And then as I finished, I guess I was like a bit lost to where I wanted to go. Like I didn't know, like, because there's just like it's obviously hard with the opportunities. Like you never really know what's going to pop up. And then, that's when I was pretty lucky really. I think it would have only been like maybe 3 or 4 months after finishing That's when I got the call from the PNG Hunters. That's when that popped up pretty well. So pretty much, I was pretty lucky, like to finish uni and then go almost straight into a role like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big role. It's a big jump.
It's crazy. Yeah, it was a big jump.
How do you think you handled it? How did, like just the jump from like graduating, and obviously a grind to graduate, into a semi-professional setup.
Yeah.
How were you, like, confidence-wise? What were you thinking?
I think at first I was fucking shitting myself.
Yeah.
But I think once I arrived there, I think if I had to do it, probably in a lot of teams in Australia, it would have been kind of hard, just in the way of like a lot of probably more egos involved, like having to, I guess, personality clashes and that sort of thing. But I was pretty lucky that I guess went to PNG and like just the people there are so kind and welcoming.
Yeah. So it's a really good starting point to learn.
Great starting point to actually like jump into that sort of role. Like, I was like welcomed with open arms. Like everything that I wanted to do, I could do. There was like pretty much like very little pushback against anything that I wanted to do or how I wanted to do things. So I was pretty lucky in that way. Like all the boys were like very willing to take on as well. Like, like sometimes you talk to people and you can tell when they're not really taking on what you're saying, sort of thing. But like everything that I said, like you could see that they were like very willing to take it on and like they wanted to be better. I think because they probably like a lot of them are still relatively new to S&C as well. Like they don't grow up with gyms, like they don't have gyms that they can like freely go to, or even like just access to coaches as well. There's not like a whole lot of coaches. Like there's some very good ones there, but it's not. There's no sport and exercise science degrees or anything over there, so they don't really have coaches coming out to be able to do things like that. Yeah, so I think they were just grateful to have people there that could help them. So yeah, it was a great starting point. Yeah. But yeah.
Did you have, like, when you went into that role, was there any mentors in there that are guiding you through it? Or are you literally just like, here's a full program, you need to run the whole thing and figure it out?
So I was pretty lucky, actually. Like, as I came in, the CEO of the Hunters, he had a good relationship with Jeremy Hickman's at the NRL Dolphins. So he's their head of performance at the Dolphins NRL team, and then also had Blake Duncan there as well. I think he's like he was like the head strength coach there. So pretty much I was very, very lucky with that, to have them two as like pretty much like mentors to me. Like I'd have like a weekly call with them once a week where like I would still kind of create the program and then they'd just basically like oversee it. Look at everything, review it, look at everything that I was doing. Like obviously help with a lot of like just players. If I had any issues with like injuries or anything like that, certain players, like they would, I guess, give me advice around that. A lot of the rehab stuff, like they were really good with that. Like Jeremy handles all the rehab at the Dolphins, so he does a lot of like their rehab gym work and all their field stuff. So he was like very good at helping me, because I guess that's probably something I never really was super exposed to. Like throughout uni, like I guess like most S&Cs get just pushed in the box like more the performance side of things. They don't really think about like the rehab side of things. So he was like very good at actually like helping me like, I guess, know where to start with that, and then creating the frameworks about and the system of like a return to play or return back into like training, things like that. He was really good with that. So yeah, I was pretty lucky to have them two there, just kind of helping me and guiding me.
That's awesome. That's a really good start.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like very grateful for everything that those two done for me. So,
And then, so like throughout the process, so how many, you were there for 2 years?
Yeah, I think it was like year and a 8 months, pretty much.
So over those like year and a bit, throughout that time process, because you're obviously traveling with the team as well, like what did you learn throughout that time, like from someone that's come into nothing to going into that like full setup of like, all right, there's like semi-professional demands, and then you got travel, and you got like, what have you picked up? What did you learn along the way?
I think it's like the biggest thing from it was like having standards and like a way of doing things and like a routine around things, but then also like being like adaptable and like flexible with things as well. Like we always had set things. Like it was like at the start, it was like a big eye opener to me how like it felt very like militant and like structured the way that we were doing things. And like at the start, I was a bit like, fuck, why are we doing all this way sort of thing? Especially when we travel, like it was just so like structured and like was a bit like, oh, why can't we just relax, sort of thing. But like with the travel, like we'd travel. I think it was like 4 hours actually to travel to Brisbane. Like most of our games,
which is international travel.
Yeah,
as well.
international travel. Yeah. So like, and then a lot of the PNG boys, like they're just so like stiff in general, and they're like just their body shapes are like very like stocky, like, and then they all have like back issues. So like, and then you lay like that on top of travel, sitting down for that long. Like we had like a full routine that we had to go through like after we arrived in Brisbane, and then sometimes even on top of that, like we'd have to travel to like Sunshine Coast. So it was like another like almost an hour bus ride sort of thing to Sunshine Coast. So some days we're traveling 5 hours sitting down sort of thing. So we had to go through like a full like stretching routine as we get off. There's like a full process and like real structured, I guess, about the way we had to do things there, just so they didn't get onto the field and like lock up sort of thing, which was something I was a bit like shocked by, like just how structured it was to start out with. But I think like things like that where like that was the structured side of things. That was like really good to see. Like, although I didn't really, it was a bit weird at first. Like, I think it's good to have like structures around things like that. Then, you know, we'd also have times where like the plane flight would be delayed. Like, shout out to Air New Guinea. They're horrible. Well, not horrible. Sorry.
Cut that out.
But they, like, they're just known for like delays sort of thing. So like sometimes there'd be like delays in getting to Brisbane sort of thing. So we'd be like sitting in the airport for a couple of hours. Yep. All of a sudden there's a delay, and then we'd have to try and like, we'd just kind of be figuring out things on the fly. Like sometimes we'd be getting into Brisbane like relatively late at night sort of thing. So like there'd be times where like we'd have our normal stretching routine that we'd like to do before dinner, but then there was other times where like we're having to have dinner and stretch at the same time. So we'd have to like be a bit more adaptable and come up with groups and like have like almost like a circuit around things like that. So yeah, just little things like that, just like on the fly as well.
That's cool, and I feel like that's part of that S&C realm where you realise your job goes outside of like the hour in the gym and the hour in the field.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like that holistic kind of approach to the whole day, and then
100%.
It's even like a good little insight. Like we got a lot of our athletes who are quite younger, so aspirations to go pro.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like, oh, pros look cool, looks fun. And it's like, well, what about the 8 hours of travel you got to do once to twice a week?
100%.
What habits are you relaying in early?
Yeah.
And things like that. So
yeah, I think that's a big part of it as well. Like it's like, I think all of it's glamorized a fair bit. Like even working as an S&C in like the semi-pro or pro space, like you think it's going to be like a dream sort of thing.
Highlights,
but like it is a grind. Like you have to like be willing to put in the effort and like the hours sort of thing. And like you say, there's so many things that are like outside of your scope and outside of like the hours that you think that you have to work.
Contracted for.
Yeah, that you're contracted for, that you just have to do. Like there's so many things that I had to do that was just like, well, like this is not my role, but I just kind of have to do it. Like,
and what do you reckon that's done for you as a coach?
I think I just got like a pretty big like tolerance to work, I think now, but so there's that, and then just like I said, being adaptable. I think like trying to be adaptable, like when I need to. I like having like structure and being pretty like set in my ways, but then also like that, and that's something I struggle with, and I kind of had to learn as well. Yeah, it's like you have to actually be adaptable, and like you can't just do what you want to all the time. Yeah, even with like just the actual S&C side of things as well. I think as S&C is like we always have this like dream and like goal of what we want to do sort of thing. And a lot of the time you just don't have like the time or like the ideal schedule. Like even with our schedule, because we would travel. So we'd travel. Obviously, that takes a fair bit of time. But then we'd have our captains run like 2 days before the game as well. So like our whole week was like condensed. So like
because of the travel, you have to have it.
Yeah. Generally, I know previous years they did their captains run the day before, but it was always a bit of a hassle trying to get to Brisbane and find a field. And then we also did like an opposed style captain's run as well. So there's like a fair bit of contact in there. Yep. So we tried to do that like
a full training session. Yeah,
there's the full on there. There's like sometimes there was injuries and everything.
It's Thursday, high load day.
So it was that, and then but that made it hard throughout the week to try and get like 2 training sessions in, and then a captain's run as well, and then like recovery in as well. So it's like everything was just like so condensed. So like all of a sudden like your ideal week goes out the window, and you're just trying to like it felt like you're just pretty much trying to survive from week to week and just like get them up and going again. Like you're not actually, you have your ideal schedule in mind and ideal even gym sessions, everything in mind, but sometimes you just can't do that because, travel, big game, like boys are just fucked. So you kind of got to just, I guess, adapt on the fly and make adjustments.
Yeah, is there any big programming principles or programming thought process that like changed for you in that setup? Is it like you're going more a microdose approach? Is it like you're adjusting volume intensity?
I think
what do you?
The big thing, like when I first started at the start of the season there, like just a lot of the big lifts, like I tried to, like, because we only had a certain amount of time, like because of the way the travel was and everything, pretty much had like one main lift and then one like power primer sort of session. So like on that big main lift day, I would always try and like that's where I'd put all the big lifts in, just because I thought we've only got this certain time. Just get all the big lifts that are like most like bang for your buck or like big compound lifts, and then like that got to a point where that was almost like cooking the boys as well. Like I think we spoke about it before, like even like them chucking all those lifts on the same day, and all of a sudden like you got a few boys like pulling up with like sore lower backs and things like that because they're just like super like so much extension and like they're just kind of cooking themselves on that day, and then it's kind of like have an effect. Plus like the travel, like you have all these little things like adding up, like the travel, sitting down, you're just kind of cooking their low backs, and then like, everything's kind of leading into each other. So I kind of had to like adapt that to where that was a bit more of like I still had like a few like big lifts in there and that, but like it wasn't the whole session. Like it was more of like pick one or two, and then everything else around it was just like kind of, it was like supportive,
like accessory
sort of,
stuff,
like accessory work, sort
soft
of
tissue stuff.
Yeah, soft tissue stuff. Like that was probably the biggest thing. Like just doing a lot of that stuff, like calf work, ankle work, like.
Jesus, look at the size of those boys. It's like trying to look after those. Calves bigger than your head.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. Yeah. I feel like they're so like susceptible. Yeah, susceptible.
Back to that English class.
English.
Shout out, miss. Shout out. You got it. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what she trained you for.
But yeah, like because they don't have like a big training load sort of thing, so you have to be like trying like to manage those sort of soft tissue things is like quite hard. Like especially because a lot of them, like in the off season, they'll just kind of like literally go back to their like either village or where they're from, and they like some of them like don't have really like a proper field to run on. So, like they're definitely not all of them don't have gyms, so you kind of like they don't have like their loads can be quite up and down sort of thing. So it's like
you're competing against the other Q Cup teams who have like a full like structured off season. Yeah, that's just perfectly laid out.
Yeah, and you do give them things, but like they're not going to do them. Like, so it's kind of like that side of things where it's a bit different. Like you kind of just have to, and like I was saying before, like you had this ideal thing in mind, but you kind of just meeting people where they're at rather than like trying to actually like meet where they're at and then try and push it up from there rather than trying to have this like top down approach where you're trying to just have your claws and everything sort of thing. It's like,
so I guess would help a bit in here as well, like coming into the private sector and like that transfer. It's still been
a challenge, like like that. Like
well, like that probably like the next point. So like you've been at the Hunters for a year and a bit. You've finished up there. What happens now? What's the Why did your CV come through?
I kind of finished up there just because I wanted to kind of move back to Australia. Just sort of done my time there, and then. I sort of thought like something would pop up while I was over there, sort of thing. I don't know why I thought that was pretty like naive of me. Like even though I wasn't even like trying to like look for anything really.
Yeah. Just fall into your lap.
Yeah, I thought it'd just fall into my lap. Yep. Never really did.
Always happens that way.
And then I finished up there, and then I was sort of planning on just going back to Cairns. I was gonna probably start my own thing there. Mm-hmm. Just like my own sort of private business or something there, which I didn't really want to do, I guess. I wanted to go into a bit of a different role. And then I think I seen an Instagram post you put up. And then, just sent my CV over, and then rest is history.
Which is wild, because that was a fast process in terms of like from the first interview to all the steps, and we're jumping on a call a couple times a week and just getting all the details up, and like, it was good. That was probably the coolest thing. I think that's probably just credit to the block you've done before and the adaptability. the fact that you literally backed all your stuff up, got on a plane, got over here, got a new car over here, accommodation, all that kind of stuff, and you just packed your life up and started again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is cool, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I think that's credit to you guys as well, like everything that you're like doing, like seeing all your like stuff you put out on social media and everything like that. Like I probably wouldn't have done it if I didn't like see everything that you guys are doing here and like see that there's like it's something that's growing sort of thing.
Yeah, apart from Keith. Keith doesn't post anything. Yeah.
Fuck Keith.
But yeah, so obviously you travelled across. You came across, I think it was end of 27th or something,
29th, I think, like just before New Year's,
Yep. So you've flown in, you got in, and then you started pretty much a week later.
Yeah.
How's that been? It's literally going like that, like the first 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, like it's been a month now.
Yep. Plus, it's been 5 weeks, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Still feels like I'm brand new here, but...
well, you technically are.
Yeah.
It's a month.
Yeah. But yeah, that's been good. It's been a bit of a crazy like process, like a lot to get my head around, just with the amount of people that come through and like the different teams. Like there's just a lot going on. Like even just the programming and everything like that. I guess like coming from a team side where you might have like a base program and then like there's a few little adjustments off that sort of thing. Coming into here where it's like full individualized programs for everyone, like it's a lot like different in that way where, you know, everyone's got their own program. Like that's been a massive thing to get my head around, like all different sports, so you're having to change styles. And that's kind of like what I was saying before, like I kind of did have like a structured way of doing things. Like I'd kind of do things a very similar way for the majority of the time, but then coming here, it's been like I actually have to adjust to what I'm doing, like even just like the structure of the workouts, the programming style. Like there's a lot of a different approach that I've had to kind of adopt.
Yeah, you've done really well, like really well. Like it's chaos in here. Like people obviously look at it and it's like, oh, it's a lot of athletes training in a gym, but like 3 different facilities. Yeah. There's a lot going on. We've got physio, integration, like return to play, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's been cool to see like you've adapted really well. Yeah. And I guess again, like that, I feel that's credit because you've just been in that environment before where it's chaos, and then you've just created your systems and adapted to the chaos of everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely chaotic.
Very chaotic.
In a way, yes, but in a way, no. Like it's just, I think it's a lot to get your head around, like because there's so many different people. Like, it's different sports as well. Like, probably something like I guess I've had experience in different sports previously, but then to be in just rugby league for a while like that, like you kind of just become like a bit of a league guy sort of thing. Yeah. And then coming back here and like I said, having to actually like look at different sports and look at the demands of different sports and actually like, adjust to that. It's been good. Yeah.
That's good. We're excited. Like you obviously feel like you're adapted, you're settled in now. That's why it's good to get the name, get the face out there a bit more. But it'll be exciting now, though, especially as we roll into like in season. Like you've obviously got the Basie boys this year, got a team, got a few athletes and things like that. It's going to be exciting to see how you roll into a bit of a routine and settle in a little bit more. Yeah. But in terms of training, like, is there anything that you're specifically passionate about? Is there anything that you feel like this is like a bit more my area? Yeah.
I really like the field and speed side of things. I feel like that's where you can probably have a bit more of like a actual, like almost put your fingerprint on the coaching side of things there. Yep. Like the gym you can help with a little bit with like technique and things like that, but I think that's probably where like the lowest hanging fruit, where people don't have like the quality or like the movement kind of things. You can actually like
coached.
Yeah, being coached. Like a lot of people haven't been coached in a lot of those things. So that's where you can actually go out there and like help people with things like the majority of athletes, like they depending on the athlete, but a lot of them have been in the gym before, so they kind of have that idea of things at least. Whereas like on the field, like a lot of them have just either done their own things or done it with coaches, like their own like club coaches, but there's been no actual like technical focus with a lot of the field side of things. So I really like the field speed side of things. Yeah.
And then like from like an example standpoint, like so you get like an athlete that's come in, could be one of our guys that come down to a field session and you've written up their first program or you've started to watch them move. Like is there any like a little 1 to 2, 3 points that you're focusing on from the start? Like is there like a starting point that you focus on? You're like, all right, I'm focusing on A, B, C. Once I see these kind of in a good position, then I spread out from there. Or is it?
I really like just like Jonas Dodu's like projection, reactivity switching type of thing. Like that's what I always try and look for first. It's like things like like just even their start, like are they able to get into like a good position to start out with, like their shin angles, torso angles off the start, like get them into that, and then see how they can actually like push out of that position. And then obviously like the switching side of things, like how they actually switch their legs after that, like are they switching and landing their foot like way out in front, like things like that, where they might just be popping that foot way too far out in front and they just popping themselves up too early. It's like just seeing how they can actually like project and then like switch their legs, and like the reactivity side of things where they can like what happens when they sort of hit the ground, like are they just kind of like that heel is like full collapsing sort of thing. So I think you can pick up like a lot of things there just by watching them, and then that's where you can like come in the gym and work on those things as well. Like if they can't actually push off the start, like it's probably just a bit of like a strength and power issue sort of thing. So you can come in the gym and actually like work on their strength and power, or like reactivity side of things, like if they're just ankles like full collapsing into the ground and they're just losing all ankle stiffness, like coming and working on like your like plyometrics or like some isometrics, things like that. So I guess that's where my head goes with the speed side of things. I just try and keep it simple with that. Like look at those three things, and then you can kind of
and then just develop out
go from there. Yeah.
Is there anything on the field that you'd use? Like, say someone's listening, they're not an athlete of ours, and they're like, "Oh, I want to start with 1, 2, 3." Like, is there any exercises that you'd use from the start? Is there basic load and lift, A switch, and something else that you'd use? Or is there like?
I think like the load and lift is like really good to like teach them how to actually like extend through the hip and like get a good shin angle, and then you're getting like some ankle stiffness in there as well because you like got that heel up off the ground. So you can like look at that. Like a lot of people when they first start that, they might just like drop their heel completely towards the ground.
Heel sitting on the grass.
Yeah, heel sitting on the grass. So you can like look at that, like keeping that ankle stiff, and then being able to like almost like drop that shin, roll the shin forward, and then like delay extending that knee so the hips almost like pushing over the top of the knee, where like the knee's not just shooting back straight away. So like you can almost teach like that projection of just like that, and you got the ankle stiffness in there, and then you can eventually lead that into a switch. So you get like all three sort of things there, where like they're teaching how to like project, keep that ankle strong, and then eventually adding in like a switch set as well. I think that's like a big thing, like just the load and lifts, and then like almost progressing that. I like to progress that into like a banded like 3-step acceleration, I call it. So it's like the same sort of thing, like getting into that, like loading the knee, loading the hip, dropping the shin angle, big push out from there, and then like I like the band because it almost forces you to attack back into the ground. So like you're getting that really good switch and you're attacking back into the ground, and then like just coaching around, like keeping that ankle like nice and strong on ground contact, like they're not trying to like let that heel like kind of drop in too much. So I like that. Yeah, those two sort of for acceleration, and then like more like your wickets for like max velocity, like just getting them, teaching them to get up into like a good front side position and then strike back underneath the hips. I think that's like really useful. I think that's a big one as well. Like people just like when most people like run to start out with, it's just like a lot of just like flick out the back, like excessive backside mechanics, and then just like big arch in the back, like puffing the chest out, where they're just everything's just ending up like at the back almost. Teaching them how to get into like a good upright position and actually like get that foot sort of up and over and then back underneath the hips.
Use their hips a bit more.
Yeah, get into their hips.
Yeah. Settle now, mate. So I hope that's good. That's a fair few things to think about. Keith, do you want to come ask these questions? So what we thought we'd do to close out the podcast is we actually got the boys to ask him a couple of questions, and the boys are both here, so they might as well come up and ask these questions. This podcast is going to go from really good to really rogue. So this could be like exclusive content we cut off now, and then we just give to the fans.
I'm nervous. I'm sweating now.
Okay. We've got some really good questions here for Kyle.
Jesus.
The boys want to know, what is your coffee order?
Coffee order. Probably just a cappuccino guy, I think.
Oh, hell no.
Pretty simple.
I'll be honest.
Oh, no.
With honey.
Oh,
I like honey in my coffee. No sugar.
I also get a hot chocolate. That's crazy.
Yeah. You know what you asked for this morning? What was it?
Don't throw me under the bus,
I lied. Oh no. Weak ice mocha.
I'm going to progress slowly to the caps, and then we'll go to the.
That's not too bad. It could be worse.
I'm going to kick you out of this podcast.
Oh my god.
All right, second one. Who's the most interesting person you've met at Perform?
Guess who asked this question as well, and guess who he wants it to be.
Yeah. I don't want to give it to him, but probably Keith.
Why? Guess you honest.
He's just an interesting character.
Oh, that's crazy. Wow. It's not that bad.
Has he told you he loves you yet?
No, he hasn't actually.
Oh, that's just Chinny.
It's Chinny.
Bro,
I'm still waiting, bro. Like,
he hasn't said it back?
Nah, since Chinny started, I've been telling him I love you every time I see him.
Never says a bad.
He never says a
Poor guy.
He's just playing hard to get.
Yeah, I know.
Probably does now.
You'll get it soon.
Oh, no.
And the last one, second last one we got. What's your greatest sporting achievement?
I always say I tackled Hamasai Tabu Fido. I don't know if you
Oh,
say
the
that.
hammer.
Yeah, the hammer. I tackled him once, and that was like my greatest. That was my greatest achievement. On my own too, so I felt so good about myself when I did that.
Pretty good. Shoot yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I did.
At least you didn't beat you on the outside.
Nah, I got him.
That kind of answers the next question then. Who would win in a run straight?
Me.
You and-
Me.
you or your
Me. Me.
Really?
Really?
I reckon when you put it in a test, what do you think?
I reckon I need a coach's combine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Chinny as well.
Yeah,
We'll add
that'll be
swimming
good.
in there.
Yeah, Bondi Rescue.
No, I'm a horrible swimmer.
Oh, no.
All right, is that your questions?
Yep, that's my questions.
Get out of here.
That'll do. Awesome.
Love
Thanks
you,
for that,
Kyle.
Kyle. Finish it on
Easy,
that
that's it. Leave it there. Done.
one. Any closing notes?
Nah, I'll just smoke Keith.